What are some interesting or fun Christmas traditions you follow? Yearly watch of either Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit trilogy, the extended editions. We go back and forth depending on what was seen the previous year. This year we turned a new leaf and watched all 6 movies. These past few years I've been losing my Christmas spirit, but regardless of how little my spirit, every year I always watch The Muppets Christmas Carol every Christmas Eve. Opening one present on Christmas Eve. My family always watches Monty Python and the Holy Grail on Christmas morning after opening presents. Lol, nobody knows why, we just do it. Gift everyone PJs the night before Christmas. Mom later told me she did this because Grandma wanted everyone looking nice the next day for photos when they were kids. Every Christmas Eve my mom and dad hide a pickle ornament that is the same tone and color as the tree, and me and my sisters had to find it. Whoever finds it first gets to open the first present. I still wake up 3 hours before we open presents to find it. Also, Happy Cake Day. We started this a few years ago after my son's first Christmas. He was so overwhelmed with things and he didn't want to play with any of it, and there was a ton of stuff. So after that I thought about what went wrong and how we can make it better. 1. Too much stuff at once. 2. No time to appreciate what you want. 3. Spending too much money on things that end up not played with. So with that in mind we changed to Christmas month. I buy my son 4 things. This year it was a couple books, some Play-Doh, some Duplo and this marble run. Every Saturday in the month of December he gets one gift. One gift to appreciate, play with and enjoy for at least a week. Then next Saturday he gets another present, etc. until Christmas when he gets the last one and any gifts he got from others. It has worked out well. Saved me some money from overspending and saved him from getting too much stuff. Someone posted this question last year. I took someone else's tradition of reading the night before Christmas to my nephew last year for his first Christmas. This year I bought 3 copies of the book and had his and his sister's names and mine in them so we all can read it in years to come. We play a gotcha game. The rules are simple: get someone to say what? As in, guess what? What? And then you say it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Nowadays we're on edge for it so no one ever gets anyone, but it's still fun. Festivus for the rest of us. My family always wear reflective jackets, like construction workers, and walk up to the park by my grandparents' house. Christmas is usually there, and sit in the skate ramp area and just laugh. Everyone tends to be a bit drunk, but it's a very wholesome and fun tradition that our family has. But unfortunately we won't be able to do that this year. Frown. My family is Australian, so every year we get together for a massive seafood feast. It's simple but nice. Smile. We do this thing on Christmas Day, where my mom hides a small pickle made of plastic in one of 2 Christmas trees, and the one who finds it out of my brother and I gets a bonus gift. This one I inherited from my wife's family. December 26th is just as important as Christmas Eve and even Christmas Day for my father-in-law. It's sun decorating day, capitalization's intentional. It is a holiday in its own right. He wakes up at like 4 a.m. and starts putting everything Christmas related away. This is usually accompanied by prancing around the house singing. It's the most wonderful time of the year. By the time everyone else is awake, the only thing left is the naked tree. He loves Christmas, it's just that by the end of the season, he's done. At first I found it annoying because I grew up keeping the tree up until New Year's Day. Now however, I've embraced it. You get a fresh start with a clean house on the 26th of December. My family does a thing called Kris Kringle. About a month before Christmas, usually when we meet for Thanksgiving, we're American, we draw names. The person whose name you draw, you do nice things for all month. It can be little gifts or acts of service. We get a slightly larger gift for Christmas Eve, and everybody has to go around and guess who their KK was that year. It's really sweet and lots of fun. My mom keeps the gifts unlabeled. It's her way of keeping us from waking her up early. She has a way to know which one belongs to which person, But she changes it every year, so we don't try to figure out her strategy. Makes Christmas Day really fun though. We always go for a litter picking walk in between Christmas and New Year. We live fairly rurally, and even on the little country tracks there is an incredible amount of litter. It started a few years ago with my dog cutting herself on something, and we figured it was time to step up and help out. Christmas tree. We decorate the tree only on Christmas Eve. It's this giant family gathering for us, and, while the tree is kept up for at least 2 weeks before Christmas, we gather the whole extended family on my mother's side that will show up the next day for presents and put all the lights on, the ornaments, and then the angel. And then on Christmas Day, the icicles are suddenly added to the tree, because Santa always leaves icicles, as my mother says. Christmas Eve we always eat swordfish for dinner, and on Christmas Day we always have chocolate croissants for breakfast. Smile. I think that's gonna be broken though, considering COVID and some other stuff. We celebrate the Eve instead of Christmas Day. That gives us more time to enjoy presents. I always listen to Dylan Thomas, A Child's Christmas in Wales. Our snow was not only shaken from whitewash buckets down the sky, it came crawling out of the ground and swam and drifted out of the arms and hands and bodies of the trees. Snow grew overnight on the roofs of the houses like a pure and grandfather moss. Every Christmas we get Nerf guns and bullets, so it's traditional that when our relatives come over we spray them with bullets and hand them a loaded 6-shooter. We would put carrots out in the driveway for the reindeer, and when we woke up in the morning they would be chewed on with dirt deer tracks leading down to the street. My grandmother and grandfather would always make these delicious treats and cookies near Christmas. Some of them include chocolate crinkles, snickerdoodles, buckeyes, and a type that she called super shooters. They may have recipes around if anyone wants to see them. My mum used to, who am I kidding, she still does it now even though we're all mid to late 20s, draw a small symbol on or number all our presents, and she would have a master list. On Christmas Day, she'd instruct us all to find a present with a certain number or symbol, and we'd have to find it under the tree. Often it was so hard to find if the wrapping paper was patterned etc., so it could take ages. It was the best though. We always stretch out present opening to last the whole day. As kids it meant we could appreciate and play with each new toy we had just opened, and so our day would be broken up with a mini present hunt under the tree every half hour or so. I track Santa every year on NORAD Tracks Santa and Google Santa Tracker. I'm in my mid-20s and have been doing it since I was maybe 7 or 8. It's not the same as when I believed, but it still gets me excited that Christmas is just hours away. I can't see myself ever stopping. I have younger family members now, so it's brought back some of the excitement watching their faces light up knowing Santa is coming. Tip for anyone that has a GM vehicle and an OnStar subscription. If you call in on the 24th and ask where Santa is, they'll tell you. Something fun to do if you're driving around looking at lights or coming home from church/family get-together. Every year, I buy my daughter pajamas that she opens on Christmas Eve and wears on Christmas Day to open her stocking and gifts. It started as cute pajamas that reflected her interests, princesses, ponies, that sort of thing. But when she was around 11 years old, it became a quest to find the weirdest pajamas possible, since the previous year's hipster llama pajamas had been such a hit. She's now 16 years old and has a multitude of ridiculous onesie pajamas, including a llama and a dragon. She asked recently when I intend to stop the madness, because apparently she's now too grown up for it. I confirmed for her that it will not end until I pass, and that when she has a long-term partner/kids, they will also be included. Barbecue hamburgers every Christmas, in my grandmother's homemade barbecue sauce. We do the fancy dinner and open presents Christmas Eve instead. Oh man. When I was 4 or 5 years old, I wanted a drum set. Really badly. My parents told me that it was hard for Santa to fit that in his bag, but I told them he could give it to me in pieces if he wanted, and I'd just collect all the drums. I always felt a little guilty about Santa giving presents to everyone and nobody gave him anything, so that year, as a preemptive thank you for the drum set, or maybe a 5-year-old's bribe, I made him a rain stick out of a wrapping paper tube and some rice. I colored it red and green with crayons and glued a red ribbon to it. The next morning, the rain stick was gone, the fireplace was open, soot was everywhere, and my drum set was in the living room. The red ribbon was in the fireplace. Every year after that, until I learned Santa wasn't real, I made him an instrument out of random crap. Drums out of coffee cans and parchment paper. Rubber band guitars. It was awesome. We were broke a lot and my parents really went the extra mile to make things magical on a budget of nothing.